Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. A slightly different vlog from me today, but I have kind of wanted to do this video for a while. I've seen a couple on some other people's channels and it kind of fits well at the minute. 2 years since I left the UK, I've spent 1 week in the UK in those 2 years. Now, there are many things that I used to do that I do not do anymore. 5 habits that I've lost since I left the UK. Number 1, probably the biggest thing that British people do, drink cups of tea. I have always been a coffee drinker. However, first thing in the morning, coffee, yes. Afternoons, I used to be quite partial to a cup of tea, or on a really cozy, wet, rainy day. Like I just want to snuggle with like a hot tea and watch DVDs or whatever. Does anyone watch DVDs anymore? Am I showing my age? How long ago did I leave? Since I left the UK, I think I've probably had about 3 cups of tea. I just do not drink tea anymore, ever. I am coffee 100%. 2 or 3 cups a day is my limit. Sometimes I'll push it to 4, but I never fancy a cup of tea, even over Christmas and winter time when it was a little bit cooler. I think I had 1 cup of tea. I even tried to buy like festive Christmas tea and I think I drank 1 cup and threw the rest away. I have had tea bags in my cupboard. They're always stocked. So I do always have good old Yorkshire tea in my cupboard. I just never, ever, ever drink it and I don't even fancy it anymore. Number 2, okay, sticking with the cozy, feeling warm, winter UK weather vibes, baths. Now, I used to have baths almost every single day when I was living in England. I love a bath. All the bubbles, fill it up really deep. Oh, so good. Now, I do sometimes have a bath here, but not often. My first apartment here in Dubai had a bath, which was okay. I think I had to source a plug for it though. I don't remember it having a plug for a long time. Our old villa had like the most horrible bath ever. You didn't even want to bath in it. It was just so manky. We did clean it. We aren't dirty people. We did clean it, but it was just old. So it was just like a bit discolored. It just wasn't inviting. The new house has an amazing bath. It's massive, like I love it. And I have used it a couple of times over winter. However, the water here, as the temperatures warm up towards summer, the water is just permanently hot. You don't get cold water, it's only hot water. So for me to run a nice, deep, big bath is a lot of effort. I run it and it's always too hot. I can't get in it, I have to empty it, refill it. It's such a waste of water. So honestly, because of the hassle and because it's so hot, and as soon as I get in it, even with the AC on, I just start sweating immediately. I just don't bother. So I just don't have baths anymore. It is mostly showers for me. Number 3, cooking. Now, I have actually been a lot better at cooking recently. However, until before a month ago, I would probably cook 2 or 3 meals a week, if that. We can get everything ordered here in Dubai. I know the rest of the world is kind of coming around to that now. With lockdown and everything, everyone's had options to have everything delivered, which is great. It's so convenient. I remember when I was in lockdown, I didn't cook 1 thing for myself at all in 2 months. Nothing. No breakfasts, no lunch, no dinner. I lived off delivery takeaways and then I signed up to meal plans. Meal prep companies here in the UAE are massive. There are so many companies that you can choose from. There are some really, really good ones and I've tried a few. Haven't done one in a while, but they are really, really good. Everybody is so busy here. Not many people actually cook that much, and the meal prep companies are a great way to get around that. So when it was, I had no excuse, I wasn't that busy, it was lockdown, but I wasn't living in my own apartment, long story, and I just felt weird cooking in a kitchen that wasn't mine. Does anyone else feel that way when it's not their kitchen? You just don't want to cook, you don't know where anything is, like it just feels a bit strange. So I just didn't cook for 2 months at all, nothing. I didn't even make a bowl of cereal. I think I made 1 bowl of oats, but that was it, the whole 2 months. However, like I said, I've been making such an effort to cook home cooked food for me and Dan over the last month, and I am a lot more in the kitchen than I used to be. I think it really helps that our kitchen is just so nice and I like cooking in it now. The kitchen at our old villa wasn't really that nice. It was very small. I didn't feel like I had any space, so we barely used it. I would say I probably cook like 4 or 5 times a week. And yeah, it's a good way to kind of just make sure that we're still eating really healthy food and that Dan's eating vegetables, which he hates doing. So it's a good way to make sure that like he's eating really well as myself. So yeah, cooking is definitely something that I don't do as much of. And I'm not sure if that's a pro or a con. I don't think it's either. It's just something that has kind of become less of a habit. Number 4. This is a funny one. I'm gonna get judged so much for this. I don't know how to fill up a car anymore with petrol. So here in the UAE, when you go to the petrol station, you drive in, you give the guy your keys, he undoes the petrol cap, you don't get out of the car, basically. Somebody else fills up your petrol for you. Oh, and you keep your engine on whilst they're filling it up, because obviously you need the AC. It's just how things are done here. When you go to a petrol station, you don't actually fill up your own car. However, they went one step further with this, and you can now order your petrol to be delivered to your house. So we don't even go to petrol stations anymore, unless we are going on a long trip, on a road trip, and we need the fuel for that trip. We order our fuel every week, and this little truck comes from Cafu and it comes to your house. You can get it delivered anywhere you are in Dubai. We always get it delivered to the house, and yeah, they come and you leave your petrol cap open, they fill up your car, and then they drive away and you get charged on an app. It's great, like it is so helpful. Because how many times do you think, oh, I'll get petrol in the morning, and then the morning comes and you're like, I'm nowhere near a petrol station, I'm about to run out of fuel. Having Cafu is super, super handy because you get home, oh, I forgot to get fuel, I'll just order it on my phone. It's incredible. Number 5, walking. I love walking. In the UK, I walked everywhere. I lived in a city where you could walk everywhere in maximum 25-30 minutes. Unless it was really raining, I walked everywhere. My step count was so high, I would hit like 20,000 steps every day, no problem. If you wanted some fresh air, you just go walk around the block. Let me tell you, I do no walking here, none. And now that it's summer and I can't really go for a walk, I could go for a walk in the evening, that's a lie. It's still cool enough to go for a walk in the evening. But the humidity and the heat is just, it doesn't make it pleasant. And that's actually something I really, really miss. I miss just going for a walk in the afternoon, in the fresh air, on the beach, like in the UK. Oh, it's so good, like a crisp, fresh walk, you know? In the cooler months, yes, we can do that all the time. And yes, I could go for a walk early morning, although I work most mornings. But honestly, now that the humidity is ramping up, it's just becoming less and less appealing and less of an option. So I really, really miss walking. You can't really walk anywhere. Oh my God, let me tell you this funny story. So when I first moved to Dubai in 2007, that's right, I've lived here once before, I was put in an apartment in an area that I did not know. Now, from this apartment, I could see a mall. Now, if you live in the UAE or Dubai, I lived in Al Nada 1, and the mall I could see was Sharjah. And I'm pretty sure that mall is still there, although the area is much more built up, so you wouldn't be able to see it now. I moved in June. 28th or 30th of June is when I moved. So I'm looking at this mall and I'm wanting to get out the house, and I walked to the mall. I was like 21 years old. It was about 50 degrees. I had to go buy new clothes when I actually eventually arrived at this mall. I remember having to climb over a fence. How did I not get arrested or something? Like, I must have looked so odd and so out of place. But I remember walking into the mall and being soaked with sweat and people were staring at me, so I had to go buy new clothes, and then obviously I got a taxi home. So we don't walk places here. I learned from that era. When we park our cars, it's either valet or underground parking. It is just such a place of convenience, and I am so grateful for that. But yeah, going for a walk, I always feel like I really want to go for walks when it starts getting warm as well, which is kind of irritating because I'm like, why did I not do this more in winter? Now it's summer, I'm gonna have to wait a while. And I'll be honest, I used to judge people for walking on treadmills in gyms because I just think what a pointless waste of time. But if you sit at a desk all day, if you're very sedentary during the day, and you live in a country where it's 50 degrees all day, and you want to go for a walk, why not go walk on a treadmill? I finally understand the mentality of that now, and I haven't done it yet, but I'm not gonna lie and say that I wouldn't be open to it. So they are 5 things that I have lost as habits from not living in Britain anymore. I would love to know if anyone watching this video has ever moved countries. Is there anything that you have picked up or lost that you consider a habit from your home country? Let me know in the comments below. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. There are more videos coming, and I will see you guys in my next video. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye.